الحكمة قال الذي آتيته علم من الكتاب وآتينا رحمة من عندنا. Now if you're not going to be able to connect those dots there, you will never understand correctly the concept of knowledge. And each one is giving you a different level, different category of knowledge. But because you and I are reading it the way you and I are accustomed to the normal process of reading, I mean not أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنِ. Quran says, فَقْرَأُوا مَا تَيَسَّرَ مِنْ. Read that which is easy for you to read. But at the same time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you, فَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنِ. Are you not deliberating on the Quran? Deliberating will require not a liturgical recitation, but deliberation will require you to connect the dots. To connect all that connects it all together. Now, that's what I tried to do in our tafsir, that I'm going to connect now to you the story of Ashabul Kahf, just now, with the story of Khizr and Musa. And I'm going to connect Ashabul Kahf with Khizr, Musa, and Zulqarnain with Dajjal. But you've got to be able to connect those dots. Now, we don't do that. That's why we don't find answers in the Quran. Because we're reading Quran conventionally. And we're studying and deliberating over the Quran the way you and I conventionally study and deliberate over Quran. If you're studying, who's studying what? I don't know. You're studying fashion design. Right? You're studying fashion design, then your study course guide will speak about the history of fashion, then they'll speak about, just as an example, then they'll speak about the various ways of stitching, saddle stitch, this stitch, that stitch, then they'll speak about, haute couture, they'll speak about fabrics, they'll speak about this, they'll speak about that, they'll have, sections for each one, and they'll have a complete syllabus. Quran is not like that. Quran is not like that, because there is no book like it. This is the speech of Allah. Allah's speech doesn't have to be coherent according to your understanding. It's not meant to be like that. That's why, I remember one scholar said, he's from America, and he was saying that, he says some of the non-Muslim people read the Quran, find the whole Quran jumping out. What's going on here? What's going on here? God went from here to there, from here to there. You got to keep up, because your brain says, hey, hold on. There's no sequence in it. Right? It doesn't seem to make sense. But it's not meant to be such. Can you imagine?
I was thinking about what in Surah Yusuf alayhi salam says, Allah taught him to draw conclusions from events.
Yeah, right? And another verse, وَلِيُعَلِّمَهُ مِنْ تَأْوِيلِ الْأَحَادِيثِ. Right? This was where Yusuf alayhi salam could read the signs and the symbolism in dreams. Now, that's a language on its own. Do you know that? When I had a dream. I had an awful dream. Or I had a good dream. Right? Whatever it is. Dream, the sequence of dreams are not coherent either. Have you noticed that? No one has a perfect dream, like he started off here and ended up there. Right? But you will see something which is symbolic. I've discussed dreams before, but I'll just give you an idea. You have a khayali dream. A dream which is generally influenced more by your thoughts. Then you have a Naqshi dream. A Naqshi dream is where you see a symbol. Something symbolizing something else. Like Yusuf alayhi salam saw, سَبْعَ بَقَرَاتٍ سِمَانٍ يَأْكُلُهُنَّ سَبْعٌ إِجَافٌ, right? So these were symbolic meanings. You've got to be able to interpret the symbols. What does a cow mean if you see it in your dream? What does a lion mean when you see it in a dream? What does milk mean when you see it in a dream? What does honey mean when you see it in a dream? Now, that's symbolism. Then you have a qalbi dream. Right? That's another form of dream. Qalbi dream is wherein something is imprinted onto your heart, wherein you see something and you come to realize that your heart interpreted and understood it. Right? It's a message to you in the dream. Then you see things possibly that will be happening in your future, or that has happened in your past. Right? And you see sometimes how alternative scenarios play out in your dreams. Have you noticed that? What ifs in your life? Have you seen how what ifs in your life resolve themselves in dreams? Do you know there's one aspect of it there, wherein, like I spoke about the multiverse concept, right? Wherein there are multiple possibilities. Certain possibilities that were near, almost possibilities in your life but didn't pan out, actually played themselves off in your dreams. Do you know that? Yeah. Right? There's a nice word for it there. It's called... I can't remember. There's a specific terminology for it, but I can't remember it right now, right? And you won't be able to find it either. It's a very heavy term. So anyway, whatever it is there, but it plays itself out. These are the alternative scenarios in terms of your destiny. I'm bringing all this in. I'm setting you guys up for the story of Khizr and Musa alayhi salatu salam, because that's mind-boggling. Really, it's mind-boggling. That's why, you know what, keep all these, like my stories too are not like sequential, you understand? I'll shoot one line here, I'll give you another line there, I'll give you another line there, and tell you, right, fine, now connect the dots. There we came to the point. It's called like going around the beating around the bush, you understand? Okay, carry on. وَكَانَ الْإِنسَانُ أَكْثَرَ شَيْءٍ جَدَلًا. And man is?
And what hindered men?
No, go, talk more.
And undoubtedly we have explained.
No, you read that one again? The last line.
Undoubtedly we have explained in varied manner all kinds of examples in this Quran for the people, and man is over everything most contentious.
Right. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is now bringing to your attention one inherent trait in all human beings. And what is that? Man is prone to contention. أَكْثَرَ شَيْءٍ جَدَلًا. Here the word jidal has two shades of meaning. One is when one person wants to prevail over another in terms of an argument. You want to trump that person with your argument. And the second meaning of jidal is wherein you wish to change the opinion or the standpoint or a viewpoint of one person to your standpoint and to your opinion. Both of them are jidal, contention, because you strive intellectually or emotionally or mentally or whatever it is there to get a person and to persuade that person, right, to abandon his or her point of view, to abandon his or her way of thinking, and to subscribe to your way of thinking. You understand? Now, ask yourself this question then. How many of us are not contentious? Anybody? Is there anybody who wants somebody to have their way and not your way? Anybody on earth yet that you know of? No, you have your way, it's fine. It's okay, I don't have a problem. No, you win the argument. Generally, men after about 20, 25 years, they finally reach that level. No, you're right. But it takes a lot of work, you understand? He fought for 25 years very valiantly, but after that he realized, it's a lost case. We never win. وَكَانَ الْإِنسَانُ أَكْثَرَ شَيْءٍ جَدَلًا. The problem is that you and I always want to be right. Right? That our opinions must be the one that is most valued, and our opinions must be the ones there that everyone subscribes to. And this has led to all the strife that you see in the dunya is because of difference of opinion. Right? Sheikh Sa'di Shirazi says that this quality is so inherent in man that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala were to remove aql from the dunya, if aql, intelligence, rational thought, thinking, were to be completely taken away from the universe, still there will be no human being on planet earth willing to acknowledge, yes, I'm a jahil. No, what are you talking about? Baba, aql is gone. There is no aql left in the dunya there. No, I'm not a jahil. You know the story of those two Maulanas, those two Maulanas who fought, debated. No, this is jahil, this is not jahil, this is not jahil, this is jahil, blah, 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 blah. Eventually, they were both got sent to the madhouse. Both the Maulanas are sitting there, they had a group therapy session. So both the Maulanas are sitting there, starkers, with big pagris on, big turbans on, big ones and that thing. So the psychiatrists come inside there. Okay, Maulana Sahib, what do you have to say? So the Maulana Sahib said, Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulil kareem. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. God spoke to me. He looks at everybody. The other Maulana is sitting on that side saying, So the psychiatrist asked him, why did you do that? He said, I did not. We all have the God complex. And this is what happens here, right? In my humble opinion. You know, every time I hear somebody say, my humble opinion, then I want to like club them. Or the other one is all due respect. You've given no respect to it. Don't say with all due respect. You know, I don't say all protocols observed. You're an idiot. Right? Not say all due respect. Don't say in my humble opinion, because there's nothing humble about an opinion. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, تَقْفُ مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٍ. You know what Hazrat Ali said? Right? 9/10, Abdullah Mas'ud, I think said this. He said 9/10 of knowledge consists in saying, I don't know. Or Hazrat Ali, one of the two. 9/10 of knowledge consists of saying, I don't know. You know the scholars, the greatest scholars of Islam, like Imam Malik and so on, they would say Imam Shafi'i, and people ask him, Hazrat, what is it? They must say, no, I don't know. The greatest fiqh jurists would say, I don't know. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu ta'ala anhu, I know. Hazrat Ali says, I don't know. Right? And our mullahs of today, oh no, only I know. Akthara shay'in jadala. And it all comes about because man has not completely submitted. We as Muslims have not submitted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do you ever feel, as Imam al-Shafi'i radiallahu ta'ala who said, he says, you know what, when I'm arguing with a person, meaning I'm debating with a person on a specific matter, I hold it in my heart and I genuinely pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in spite of the fact that I'm debating with this person on an issue there, I humbly implore Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make that person's argument true. Meaning his point be true. Right? Let him win the argument. That perhaps I may learn from it. Now, you know the story of Imam Abu Hanifa radiallahu ta'ala, right? He was dearly beloved to his mother. And his mother knew his Imam al-A'zam, the greatest Imam of fiqh. So one day she went to him and she said, you know son, I need to find out a certain ruling on a certain matter. And I want an opinion. So he told her, okay, what's the ruling? She said, no, but I don't want an opinion from you. I want to go to this so-and-so. And this guy wasn't even a scholar. He was a qassas, he was a storyteller. But she had a lot of faith in him. So Imam Abu Hanifa didn't fight with his mother. He took her. He took her there, he knocked on the door. He told her, listen to me. You know my name? Do you know my mother has come to ask you a certain question? Do you know the answer, right? He says, no, you Imam Abu Hanifa, you're asking me whether I know an answer, and your mother is coming to ask me a question. So he said, I don't know the answer. Imam Azam told him, listen to me, this is the questions you ask, and this is the answer. But do me a favor there, don't let my mother lose her faith in you. And don't tell her that I gave you the answer. Okay, Jazakallah, thank you. The mother went there, she asked the question, as Imam Abu Hanifa gave him the answer, he gave the same answer. The mother said, see, I told you he knows the answer. Akthara shay'in jadala. Wallah, half the world is in the crisis that it is in there because of contentions. Right? And the worst type of contention is the contention that people had with Anbiya alayhimu salatu wassalam. Because when it came to them, right, what happens? We underestimate the potential of other human beings. Am I right? We underestimate it. We don't regard anyone as superior to us. We don't regard anyone who as being more knowledgeable than us. We don't regard anyone as being better than us. No. I'm the one. So anyone who comes out there and makes a claim that, you know what, or says, I'm Prophet of Allah, the first thing people will tell her, him. He's a Prophet of Allah. The kuffar did this. Right? Quran says that, Ma hada illa basharun mithlukum. Who you're from? He's just a human being like you and us. Ya'kulu mimma ta'kulun. He eats what you eat. Wa yasrabuna mimma tasrabun. And he eats like you and I. So what's so great about him? Why? They want something extraordinary. They want something supernatural. But he eats like us. He walks around in the marketplace. He goes shopping. You understand? He eats food. He gets hungry. He gets tired. He gets sick. How can he be a prophet? And he's a human being like us. Why? We don't realize and recognize the innate potential which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed in man. And because we are so caught up with our own egos and preoccupied with our own egos there, we can't see the greatness in somebody else. And we can't believe, listen to this, we can't believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have chosen somebody else over you. Right? Take an example, be honest to yourself. Say for example, there was an offer out for one more Nabi. Na'uzubillah min zalik. Okay, no, let's lose Nabi, that's Khatamul Anbiya sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Wali. Right? Allah sends out a message out there. Allah wants to substitute one of the Abdals. Right? One Abdal has passed away. He wants to substitute one more person as one of the Allah's chosen servant, the Awliya Allah. Right? And Allah said, anybody who wants wilayat should apply. So let's say in this room here, right? Who would you choose as a friend of God here? Don't be teacher's pet, please. Who do you choose as a friend of God? Chances are, if you are honest to yourself, I would do that. I would do that. Why? Because I feel I'm the most qualified for it. Or you would feel I'm the most qualified for it. Oh, why should he become the friend of God? Like, Sufi Sahib is already there. Now he must, like cling on to Sufi Sahib. Now he got in his family. Let the Khans have one big Buzurg in his family. Yes. You understand? That's what you and I will want. No one will wish for the other. Now look at how the friends of Allah think. That's why Allah makes them their friends. Right? Sirya Sakti rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi. One day he was walking past and a man greeted him. Assalamu alaikum Hazrat. Wa alaikum salam. Knocked him. What's wrong with him? Normally he's such a man with good character and everything. Hazrat, why you greeted him like so thing there? He says, no, I thought about two things. The Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam stated, right? The best of you is he who greets the best. Who greets the best. So he said, I wanted that man to receive the reward of having greeted me better. Therefore, when he greeted me and he smiled, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, I responded to him in a lesser quality of greeting. So he would get the reward of the better greeting. See? Akthara saying jadala. We're not willing to give up. And I've seen this. People will argue about something ad nauseum. Never come to a conclusion about the matter. But they'll carry on and on and on. So the human beings, the general tendency in human beings, that the first thing they will ask, but there is no human being that is more worthy than I am. What's so great about him? Since when he became a power, when he became a Hazrat, they couldn't find anybody else. They couldn't find a man from a greater tribe, right? Look at this man. They got one Urdu speaking fellow to become one Buzurg. How? They couldn't find anyone in the Memon community, Surki community or something. We have all of these amongst the Africans as well. If you are a Gumed, like you're in a different league. No, but you're a Kumano. No. Of course, now if you're a Zubta, you're from the highest league. Right? But Akthara Shayin Jadala. Carry on. Remember this. What's the remedy? Let me give you a remedy for this. Right? You and I, we've been pre-programmed already by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be contentious in terms of argument. The resolution to it is very simple. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you a gate, right, with plus minus 32 bars in it. Or 34, I'm not even sure. Have you got any dentists around here? I'm not too sure. Jay? Dentists? How many? 32, I was right. Okay, thank you. 32, right? To keep one tongue locked up. Right? And you're going to ask yourself 3 questions before you let the tongue out. Right? One is what I'm going to say true? Is what I'm going to say going to cause harm? And is it necessary for me to say it? Chances are you'll shut up there and then. Gate will never open. No, really. What I'm saying is true. If you pass that first gate there, is what I'm saying going to cause harm? Even if it's the truth. Do you know how many times you have to bite your tongue literally even to say the truth? Because really it will cause more harm than good. And the most important one, my favorite one, is what I'm going to say necessary. No, shut your mouth please. Man kana yu'minu billahi wal yawmil akhir falyakun khayran aw liyasmut. Or the Prophet says, whosoever believes in Allah and the last day should either say something good or shut up. Really. And that's the resolution to contention and being contentious. Shut up. First thing is that the first quality of the Ibadur Rahman, of the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, alladhina yamshuna 'ala al-ardi, they walk with humanity on earth. When they address the juhala, the juhala doesn't mean people who lack knowledge. Juhala are those people that they are aware of, that if you interact with them and engage with them, especially in discussion and debate, right, these people there will react negatively and will respond inappropriately to discussion and debate there. These people say, Assalamu alaikum, mashallah, and they walk away. And 3/4 of the time you'll find juhala like this there. 99 out of 100 will be like that day. People can't debate, people can't discuss, people cannot argue in a civil manner. You'll get 1% who may be able to do that day and walk away as friends and without losing their cool. If you meet that 1% there, introduce him to me or her to me. Right? So far I haven't found one yet. Right? The reality of the matter is you've got to know the person that you are engaging with. And if you know this person will respond inappropriately, they'll become emotional. If they don't become emotional they'll become angry. If they don't become angry they'll become abusive. If they don't become abusive, they'll become arrogant. I'm sure you must have noticed this. Some people become abusive. Oh, they start swearing. Right? Some people will become emotional, they start crying. Not the ladies, men too sometimes. Right? They become emotional. Right? Otherwise, people will become arrogant. Then people can become nasty. Nasty. Right? And I said abusive, right? All of these things can happen. And all of these people are not worth engaging with or debating with. No, it's fine. Do you know how much of problem is resolved there and then? I know what our problem is. Our egos jump before our thoughts can even be, can even take hold. You know that our egos jump first. The moment you see your ego jumping, wallahi, if you've been engaged in an argument, you will know when your ego jumps. All of a sudden, when you see like your adrenaline pumping, and you see you just want to get out there with the firing gun there, that's the time you say, you know what, lock up the gates, boy. Lock up the gates, turn around and walk away. Really. Right? Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala was engaged in a debate, an argument with somebody, right? And the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was standing there. And Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala maintained his composure. And this guy was going for it. Right? Until, he's a human being after all, right? You can only take so much. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala, and the Prophet of Allah is standing there, and this guy is really now, going at Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala. And Abu Bakr as-Siddiq kept quiet, kept silent, didn't say anything, didn't respond to him anything. Until Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala, his composure, he couldn't take it any longer there, he responded to them. And the moment he responded, the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam turned around and he walked away. And the Prophet of Allah showed signs of disappointment. So Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all this while you stood there, when I responded to him, then you looked like